Hello, beautiful cocoons. How are we preparing for our transformation? How are we preparing to become this beautiful butterfly next year? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything, wherever you're looking, watching this video from, or whatever time or day you're watching this video. Welcome. It's meant to be that way. Um, Today we're gonna read one prompt for the energy of today, that it's the energy of willingness, and we're gonna see about the theme of surrender. You know, this year happened so fast with so many changes in my life. I'm speaking from my experience and from what I see throughout my friends, and this energy felt for us like we thought we had it figured out, but then life happens, time passes by, and life changes. And this particular month of December 2025, we are experiencing, from one part, the like kind of the balance of what happened throughout this year, but also we're preparing for next year, thinking of all those things that we want to leave behind in this year, to walk lightly into the new year. So, some of you may know, some of you may not know that next year we are entering into Uranus in Gemini after many, many years. Last time Uranus was in Gemini was during the second W, you know? I don't want to say those words in case YouTube doesn't want me to. But when that happened, the invention of the radio happened also, and that changed the way of communicating until nowadays, you know. We've been lately in having Uranus in Taurus, that it's a way of communicating. Like Uranus rules it's the planet of innovation, communication, revolution, and in Gemini, um, that is this beautiful air sign. It's bringing the innovation on communication, on ways of expressing ourselves, ways of sharing and receiving information. And we had a small taste of it this 2025 from July, August, and September, that it was like Uranus, kind of just like for those 3 months, Uranus got into Gemini. It went back to Taurus for now, and it's gonna come back and stay in Gemini next year in April, I believe, until 2033. So we're gonna have Uranus in Gemini staying there, and it's gonna bring us innovation, revolution, and ways that we probably are kind of have an idea or where it's gonna go, but we never know, you know. At least us, that we are not in control and doing and working for the blah. Anyways, so for today, the prompt of today is the willingness, and in my experience, I've been having ideas of new projects, of new activities that I want to realize, that I would never have thought of them 1 year ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's like completely new for me, and I like coming to a point of accepting it, releasing my old self, and welcoming this new version of myself, you know? So, I read a little bit of the prompt of today, and it goes like this: willingness. Adventures require flexibility. Growth requires willingness and adaptability. Adaptability. If we head off on a Sagittarian quest, we will we will be surprised along the way. The very nature of adventure involves relinquishing control. We invite the new, the startling, the unexpected. We invite the awkwardness of growth. We allow ourselves to wobble and make our way through uncharted territory. Risk requires surrender. We surrender the part of ourselves that protects the ego at all costs. We render ourselves willing and raw, and we try to experience the world through new eyes, new ways of seeing the world. The future, the present, because the future is just the present of tomorrow. It's always gonna be the present, and whatever we're doing today, it's gonna impact on our future. So if we want a different future, we have to check what we're doing right now, here and now. At all costs, we run with through new eyes. Sagittarius invite us to look ahead and feel what is possible, and then encourage us to say yes, even as it starts to feel a little scary or unpredictable. Sagittarius says you are walking on new ground. The invitation says, let's ride. Every great adventure involves risks. Use this prompt and see where it takes you. I am willing to risk blank. And let go from that. Life is a balance. It's like life is a balance, and I feel like our heart and our body and our mind, it's like a computer that has specific like gigabytes capacity, and we can feel it as much as we want until we reach that capacity. But if we want to get something new inside our system, it, there's something that has to get out, something that we need to unlearn, something that we need to rip off our circle, our energy, our mindset, our everything. If we want to move forward, if we want to change, if we want to become someone different, a different version of ourselves, we need to take the risk. And for that, we need to walk into new grounds. Because if we want a different version, the ways has to be different. The your actions, our actions, have to speak differently than they used to before. If you want to get into a different place. And I feel like, at least speaking from my experience, thinking of a different version of ourselves, it it has that of like, I worked so hard for this version before, and what what does it mean? Like, is it like a fresh start? Like all that didn't matter. All that was like for nothing. But everything we learn, everything we learn, it's gonna stay somewhere in our mind. You know. I said earlier, like, unlearn those things, but it's like it's gonna stay inside of ourselves in the past. And I always say, if I was able to do it in the past, I should be able to do it in the present if I tap into that energy of action. But at the same time, we have to risk it. And to risk it is to risk the comfort zone, it's to risk um all the safe patterns that we tap into. If you want something different, it has to be a different way, and for that it it's gonna get scary, of course, because it, we kind of like linger on that mystery and that question marks all over. But if you felt it, if your intuition says it, go for it. I hmm for many years I had this feeling inside of me that I would tell my friends, like, it doesn't smell good, and when I felt that something was off, that my intuition was telling me something, I would blame it on my on what I smelled and how I felt inside. And I was like, this doesn't smell good, or like, when you meet someone, in your mind, it's like, "Ah," and then like the smell, like your body, it's like giving you all that information, and I feel like it's easier at the end of the day, and it makes the process easier if we just trust our intuition and don't trust other people, kind of like, like, I came to the realization of I rather say sorry to someone else because I may have like prejudged them, than like than being sorry with myself for not following my intuition and not listening to my body, what it had to say, So now I don't want to go through all the experimentation to see and to check if my intuition is right or not. I'd rather just like, okay, like, stay with my intuition, and if I have to apologize, if I have to um like redo my steps, I'll do them. I'll say I'm sorry to whoever I'll have to say it. But in the meantime, I rather trust my intuition and follow that path. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be wrong at 100%, like following my intuition, and that's gonna take me to another spot. All right. Anyways, if we want to change, we have to surrender. We have to surrender that ego and that comfort zone, hmm, and that feeling of, oh, I know everything. We don't know everything, and yes, like, life changes. I was writing in my morning pages this morning, saying like, oh, like, I remember 1 year ago I had all these ideas and projects and things that I wanted to achieve and to do, which I done them. I tap on my shoulder and I'm like, nice, great job, congratulations, because you had a plan, you pulled it out, you tried it, you did it, and now you're like, what if I take this road? You know, it's not that I regret what I did on my work. It's just the magic of change. And oof, so many things. I'm not gonna get personal with my projects and my history. I don't want to talk about that. But it's that feeling of stay, And sometimes we think so much in the future ahead, and we get caught like thinking of the past too much. The past we cannot change it, and the future is now. And if we want to change the future, let's see now what we can do. When we're making a decision all the time, we're gonna have choice A, choice B, and then choice C, D, D, blah blah blah. We are also like always like kind of like walking and having to make a choice, and those choices Maybe they're small, maybe they're huge, but they're choices and they're like taking us into different ways. The choices and decisions that we take today are going to impact in our future. And we shouldn't be scared of that. Just should be mindful of today, that it's the moment that we can control, okay? Let's draw one card from the deck and see what energy we have for today, okay, folks? Or, well, the one that came out was like the cover, which is a beautiful card. It's the everything. It's the unknown, maybe. Dear Tarot, please, let's draw one card and one card only with information that can be useful for us in this lecture and in this reading, sorry. And yeah, please, dear Tarot, beautiful Tarot. One card and one card only. One card and one card only. There we go. Yes. I love this card. Hee! Bro. Sisters. Siblings. I get emotional. Oh my god. Yo. We draw a great card for today, huh? Why am I crying? I'm just excited. Bing! This is the jackpot, you guys. We got the 10 of Pentacles. You see? All the flowers are... Excuse me. All the flowers are blooming. Huh? How beautiful. We have the 10 of Pentacles right there. Huh? What do you think? I'll leave you some time to process it. Who we have here? We have here the energy of Virgo. And we have the energy of Mercury, baby. Virgo and Mercury. You know what's that? That's good communication. That it's analytical information. Let's take today that we have Mercury in Virgo in this card. And I feel like Mercury was in Virgo like these days, actually. I've heard of something like that. Mercury in Virgo, it's the analytical, rational communication information, you know? Virgo, it's tidy. Virgo, it's clean. Virgo, it's thoughtful. Virgo, it's beep, 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 beep. It's analytical. It's an alchemist. It's a tidy guy. And in Mercury, that it's the ruling sign, it's like, we've got this. And the 10 of Pentacles, it's the realization of Pentacles. Look at all the flowers blooming. All of them are blooming, none of them are closed. This is the Lord of Wealth. This is the 10 of Pentacles, you guys. So, if you needed a sign from the universe that you are on the right path, you are on the right path. If you, in your intuition, you feel like you need to steer your wheel and drive into a like brand new place, brand new, like brand new road. You never driven this road before. Okay, go ahead. Go steady, go slow. Don't rush it. Be aware of the new things, of the new environment. Learn. This is new. This is okay, perfect. Yes, let's go. You guys, we've got this. We needed this car for confirmation that we're on the right path. And all these changes that we are trying to make for the next year and for the following years, you know, of our following present, it's gonna be a success. It's gonna bring wealth. Maybe you're in a position now that you've been working on the same area for many years of your life, and you're like, I want to change. But the thing is that the change is a huge change, and it's very different. You know, what I want to get, who I want to become, it's so different from my current version. Excuse me. It's the mate that is giving me air and water and fire and earth, everything. So we are on the right path. Trust yourself, trust your guts, trust your intuition, and you know what? Sip it. Zip it. Don't tell anybody. Go ahead on your journey. Sagittarius, it's an independent horse. Sagittarius is not going with their whole group. Sagittarius is going by themselves. Once you have it figured it out, once you everything that you're dreaming and you're thinking of and all your ideas, you can bring them to this plane and materialize them. That's a good time to let your friends know, let your family know, let your people know, let your followers know, whatever. But let's work on it silently, like backstage, you know? You don't have to make. Let's imagine this. We want to paint, make like draw a painting, like this. Look at mine. I painted this the other day. Ooh, in the field. If I painted that in front of a group of people, like on a stage or in a like I'm painting here and I have like my friends and my people around me. They'll like come by, see that I'm painting, and they'll be like, "What are you painting? Why are you choosing that color? Look, I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe you should. Maybe you should try." And you're like, what do I do? Because I have my ideas, but then also I'm getting like all the ideas from other people, and I don't share with them. I had another idea on my mind. So if it's like, if you want to show a painting, show it once it's painted, not when you're in the process, because you're gonna get in the way of somebody else's mindset and thoughts that they don't belong to you, you know. So whatever project you want to do it on the low, like do it on your privacy, do it in your house, in your desk. Don't tell anybody. Keep on going. You don't have to give so many explanations, like we don't have to explain ourselves all the time. What are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm busy. What are you doing? I don't know. I cannot do it tonight. Like I have another thing. I'm sorry. I'll love to. I'll be there next time. Sip it. Sip it. Don't give away your ideas if they're inside your head. Don't let them out yet. Let them through you. You know? Don't let them out of you. Let them through you and create them. And once we have the creation, it's like, oh, look at this. And they can, they can have like thoughts about it, but they're not gonna change them because this is already made. You know? They can give you ideas for the next one, and then for the next one, you're gonna have those thoughts in your mind, and maybe like new ideas that you can try, but then you try them again privately. Yourself, your mind, your connection to the source, and then you share. Because that's why we are individuals. That's why we're not like a whole mass, like stick together, that we're always like sharing the same thoughts and sharing the same actions and sharing the same times. We all are individuals, and then with our individuality, we create the group and we create the collectiveness, you know? So, zip it, keep it to yourself. Trust your guts. Trust your guts. And don't let your ego control yourself. And don't let your comfort zone and hmm your steadiness, because remember, we have this opportunity now in December of taking it slowly, not rushing to achieve what we couldn't achieve this year, but like taking it slowly for the next year, for the next opportunity, for the blank start. And let's invite into the next year what we want to bring, and let's say goodbye. Let's give our thanks to our past, and let it go. You know, 10 of Pentacles, you guys. Lord of Wealth. Materialization, realization. Let me read it because I wanna give you the proper the proper, you know. Beep beep. 10 of Pentacles, the Lord of Wealth. Oh, they're taking the trash out right now. Okay. I'm sorry. Lord of Wealth. 10 blossoming roses are shown without any sign of the rose branch. Each rose touches a pentacle. Although the pentacles are not turning, they still imply the great and final solidification of energy. The symbols of Mercury and Virgo are shown at the center of the grouping of the pentacles. Mercury in Virgo, 20 and 30 degrees. Angels, Hihaya and Levaya. Meanings: completion, completion of material gain, completion of material gain, but nothing beyond. The pinnacle of success, prosperity. Prosperity, you guys. Alright. You have a new idea, a new project for next year that you want to try that is completely different for yourself? This is your sign. Go ahead. And once you have it materialized, and once you did it, share it. Share it with me. I want to know. I want to know how of a before and after making these decisions change your life. Okay? Happy day, happy everything. Go for it, trust yourself, and love one another. Okay? Mwah. Trust your guts. Bye.